The moment I stepped into the banquet hall, the air seemed to shift. The room was alive with the hum of laughter, the clink of glasses, and the faint strains of a jazz band playing in the corner. But all of it faded into the background as my eyes locked onto them. Claire and Daniel. Standing together, her hand resting possessively on his arm, her laughter ringing out like a dagger to my heart. It had been 5 years since the day Clara had ripped my world apart with a single sentence. "You don't have to worry about him anymore. He's mine." 5 years since I had last seen them together, their betrayal etched into my memory like a scar that refused to fade. But tonight I wasn't the broken girl they had left behind. I was someone else entirely. I was stronger. I was married. And I was here to make sure they never forgot what they had done. Clara had been my best friend since freshman year of college. We were inseparable, two halves of a whole. I told her everything. My dreams, my fears, my deepest secrets. And when I started dating Daniel, she was the first person I confided in. I trusted her completely. But as the months went by, I began to notice the cracks in our friendship. The way Clara's eyes would linger on Daniel a little too long. The way she'd laugh a little too loudly at his jokes. The way she'd always find an excuse to touch his arm or brush against him. I told myself I was imagining things. Claire was my best friend. She would never betray me. I was wrong. It all came to a head one rainy evening. Daniel and I had been fighting for weeks. He'd been distant, canceling plans at the last minute, and when we were together he seemed distracted, like his mind was somewhere else. I didn't know what was wrong and it was tearing me apart. So, I did what I always did when I was upset. I went to Clara. I showed up at her apartment, drenched and shaking, tears streaming down my face. "I don't know what to do," I sobbed, collapsing onto her couch. "He's been so cold lately. I feel like he doesn't even care about me anymore." Clara handed me a glass of wine and sat down beside me, her expression unreadable. "Maybe it's for the best," she said softly. "You don't have to worry about him anymore. He's mine." I froze, the glass slipping from my hand and shattering on the floor. "What are you talking about?" She didn't even have the decency to look ashamed. "Daniel and I have been seeing each other for a while now. He's happier with me. I'm sorry, but it's better you know the truth." I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. "How could you do this to me?" I whispered, my voice trembling with rage and hurt. "You're my best friend." Clara sighed as if I were the one being unreasonable. "Emma, you were always complaining about him. You said he was selfish, that he never listened to you, that he didn't make you feel special. I told Daniel everything you said and he realized he deserved better. He realized he deserved me." Her words hit me like a slap. All those late-night conversations, all the times I had poured my heart out to her, thinking she was on my side, she had been using them against me. She had been feeding my insecurities to Daniel, twisting my words to drive a wedge between us. "You're a monster," I spat, my voice shaking with fury. "I hope you're happy together because you've just lost the best friend you'll ever have." I stormed out of her apartment, my heart pounding in my chest. That night, I vowed I would never let anyone hurt me like that again. The class reunion was supposed to be a night of nostalgia and reconnecting with old friends. But for me it was something else entirely. It was my chance to show Clara and Daniel that they hadn't broken me. That I had moved on and thrived without them. I walked into the banquet hall on the arm of my husband, Ethan. He was everything Daniel wasn't, kind, loyal, and fiercely protective of me. As we made our way through the crowd, I spotted Clara and Daniel near the bar. They were laughing, their heads close together just like they used to do when they thought I wasn't watching. I took a deep breath and plastered on a smile. "Let's go say hello," I said to Ethan, squeezing his arm. Clara's eyes widened when she saw me. "Oh my God, Emma. It's been so long." She pulled me into a hug, her perfume overwhelming. "You look amazing." "Thanks," I said, pulling away. "And Daniel. Wow, you haven't changed a bit." Daniel shifted uncomfortably, his eyes darting to Ethan. Hi Emma. It's good to see you. This is my husband Ethan," I said, introducing him with a proud smile. "Ethan, this is Claire and Daniel. We all went to college together." Ethan shook their hands, his grip firm. "Nice to meet you both. Emma's told me so much about you." Clara's smile faltered for a moment, but she quickly recovered. "Well, we're just so happy to see you doing so well, Emma. You look radiant." "Thank you," I said, my smile never wavering. "Life's been good to me. I guess everything happens for a reason, right? The tension was palpable, but I wasn't done yet. I turned to a group of our old classmates who had gathered nearby. Hey everyone. Remember Clara? She's the one who taught me the importance of loyalty. Isn't that right, Clara? Clara's face flushed and she forced a laugh. Emma, you're so funny. Oh, I'm serious, I said, my tone light but my words cutting. I mean, who else would have the guts to steal her best friend's boyfriend and then act like she did me a favor? It takes a special kind of person to do that. The group fell silent, their eyes darting between me and Clara. I could see the discomfort on their faces and I knew my words had hit their mark. Clara's smile was strained now. Emma, that was a long time ago. We've all moved on, haven't we? Of course, I said, my voice dripping with sweetness. But you know what they say, once a betrayer, always a betrayer. Right, Daniel? Daniel looked like he wanted to disappear. Emma, come on. Let's not do this. Do what? I asked innocently. I'm just catching up with old friends. Isn't that what reunions are for? Ethan squeezed my hand, silently supporting me. Well, it was nice meeting you all, he said, his tone polite but firm. We should mingle. As we walked away, I felt a surge of satisfaction. Clara and Daniel had taken so much from me, but they hadn't taken my strength. And tonight I had taken something from them, their reputation. Later that night, as Ethan and I drove home, he reached over and took my hand. You were amazing back there, he said. I'm so proud of you. I smiled, feeling a sense of closure I hadn't realized I needed. Thank you for being by my side. I couldn't have done it without you. Always, he said, squeezing my hand. You're my everything. As I looked out the window at the passing city lights, I realized that Clara and Daniel had done me a favor. They had shown me who they really were, and in doing so they had led me to the love of my life. And that was the sweetest revenge of all.